Spicy beef biryani that's to die for. If you liked my chicken biryani video, wait until you try this. Everyone who tried this said it was the best beef biryani they'd ever had. So let's get started. First, we slice our onions and dice our tomatoes. Then on high heat, we're going to cook our onions until they're very golden brown. This will take about 15 to 20 minutes to get them to look this color. Next, we add our garlic paste and our ginger paste. And when you add these to hot oil like this, they splatter a little bit, so just be careful. Stir it around, and then we're going to add our tomatoes and cook them until they're soft. So when they look like this, you can add your meat. And I'm making a massive amount of beef here, but the measurements I give will be for about half of this. For beef biryani, I always use the Shan Masala Karachi beef biryani mix, and it's very spicy. You can adjust for your taste, but it gives a really nice flavor. Now mix it around, get all that spice in. And then we're going to add some plain yogurt and mix that in as well. Now we're going to add enough water to just cover the beef, not more. Bring it up to a simmer and then put a lid on it and reduce the heat to low. We need to cook this for 2.5 hours to get the meat tender. While the meat cooks, we can do some other prep work. I like to add potatoes, but you don't have to. And then I chop some cilantro, and then I prepare some green chilies and food coloring that we're going to use at the very end. That's about a 4th teaspoon of food coloring in 1 cup of water. And then I slice some butter. Now we're going to measure out our rice. I'm making 6 cups here, and 6 cups is for about 4 pounds of beef. And then I'm going to wash my rice. And you want to wash it really well to get the starch off. That way the rice won't stick when you cook it. Now after 2 hours have passed, I'm going to add my potatoes. If you're not adding potatoes, you don't need to lift the lid on the meat until the 2.5 hour mark, but I'm going to give some time to the potatoes to cook with the meat. I'm also adding some green chilies, and then for beef biryani, I always add mango achar. It adds such an amazing flavor to the beef. Now we're going to cook this uncovered on high to cook our potatoes and to get the masala to a nice thick consistency. After about 30 minutes, our meat should be tender and our potatoes will be tender, as you can see. Now I'm going to turn the heat off completely, put the lid on it, and let it rest while I prepare the rice. So we're going to boil some water and then cook our rice for exactly 12 minutes for Sela basmati rice. Drain the rice, and now it's time to layer the biryani. So I took the masala out of the pot because the first layer needs to be rice. So it's rice, masala, and then your final layer on top needs to be rice. And don't try to fit too much rice in one pot. Use 2 pots if you need to, if you're making a very large amount, like 8 cups or so. Okay, now we add our food color in this little pattern, and then some cilantro fresh and some butter on top. Then we're going to cover the pot with some foil just to really lock in all the steam, and then put the lid on top of it. And then the lid has a hole, so I'm going to add a towel on top of the lid as well, and then something heavy to really keep that lid secure on the pot. We're going to cook this for 25 minutes exactly on the lowest heat, and then allow it to rest for 10 minutes before lifting the lid. Okay, after it's cooked for 25 minutes and then we've allowed it to rest for 10 additional minutes, we're going to lift the lid and take off the foil, and then look at how amazing this looks. And that is how you make